Dominating your fantasy league? Prove it.
Shaping up to be a great game between these two teams. There's no telling what might happen.
Enhance the game with 3 easy steps. Predict, compete, and win. Start now and play your first $20 risk-free. Only on WINVIEW.
Oh, I'm muted. Hopefully I caught y'all before y'all tell me. I still got to work on that. Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are live here on Victory Monday. Look what we're looking at, 5:30 p.m. We're trying to get an early evening show in for about 1 hour. This one, I'm dropping the link because this one is about y'all. I want to hear from y'all. All right. This stream is clearly has Tua Tagovailoa emerged as the Miami Dolphins franchise quarterback. I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me why he has or why he hasn't. I want to know from you, the fan, why he has or why he hasn't. This should be a good one. I'm dropping the link. Give it to mommy, okay? I'm dropping the link. Well, the link has already been dropped. Come on backstage. If you want to get in on this conversation, I want to hear from you. Why do you believe he has or why you believe he hasn't, all right? This is that conversation. We're only going to be live for about an hour. Figured I'd get this in now because I will be streaming that Patriots Buffalo game. I wouldn't miss it for the world tonight. Have some fun on that as well. Salute to King Mills said, can I be a mod, TD? I'm always here. Bro, I made you a mod when you asked 1 minute ago without dropping a donation. I already made you a mod. So check it out, man. You should already be a mod. Drop a comment without a donation so I can see. When you donate, I can't see what you are. It just shows the donation. Hey, what are you doing? Why are you sticking your tongue out at people? You want some attention? Okay, you want some attention? Yeah, okay. There you go. You're on camera. You gonna say hi to the people?
Hi.
Talk to them.
Hi. I go for job. Happy.
Happy holidays?
Yes, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
So you got your attention?
Yes.
All right. Now, you going to let daddy work?
Yes.
All right. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say I love you.
I too.
No, say I love you.
I love you.
Say God bless you.
I got you too.
Fins up.
Fins up.
Let's go Dolphins.
Let's go Dolphins.
Tua time.
Tua time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, close my door, okay? Hey, he asked for attention. Got to give it to him. All right. He come first. He come before y'all. Sorry, it's just like that, TD. That's just how I am. All right. Anyway, let's get to it, y'all. I see a few people backstage. I'm dropping the link. It's your chance. Come on in. Now I want you to come in, say you're through. It's gonna be one-on-one. I'm not debating. Now let's get something straight. I ain't debating with nobody. I'm asking you clarifying questions. I just want to know how everybody feels. I want your take on if he the franchise quarterback, and I'm gonna ask clarifying questions to see where we are with this conversation. All right. So without further ado, let's get started. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Marcus. What's going on, homie?
Oh, I'm a legend now. Okay, I was not expecting this.
No, I enjoy when you come on, man. I get a fair take from you, even though you. So I love when you come through. So talk to me.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Has Tua Tagovailoa emerged as the Miami Dolphins franchise quarterback? The first thing I want to hear, if you don't mind, yes or no first.
First off, TD, I just got to say that was the most adorable Tua time I have ever heard.
Oh, my gosh. Hey,
all right.
Man, I hope he can grow up to be a huge Tua fan. We'll see.
I hope so, too. So you know me. I'm a fan of Tua. I like Tua. I like his game.
You already breaking the rules. First thing first, I need a yes or no, then we go all into it.
Okay.
And it has to be a definitive.
All that to say, no. I don't think he's proven himself as the Dolphins franchise quarterback yet.
All right. Okay. So tell me why you don't think he has proven himself yet, because I feel like he's done a whole bunch of great things lately. So why would you think he hasn't proven himself yet?
I would say that if the play we got from Tua over the past 4 games was the play we got all season and the play we got last season, I think you could say, yeah, Tua's our franchise guy. But there have been issues, there have been concerns, there have been inconsistencies, there have been injuries, and I would just like to see him go at least one more year, maintaining this or better, ideally better,
so I gotta
production.
I got to cut in, and please mind me. I'm going to be cutting in and out because I don't want you to go too far. I want certain things to be elaborated on.
That's fine. Go ahead.
So I'm going to push back on what you said already, because some people will argue, which is a fair argument, as long as because if you're going to sit here and say, what he's doing now, if you would have saw last year and earlier this year, then he would be, isn't it a fair argument to say, seeing him do it should be good enough because it means he can?
That is a fair point. I go to things like, is Baker Mayfield a franchise quarterback, right? Like he's shown flashes, he's had really good games, but is he that consistent? Because the thing I look for in a franchise quarterback isn't just, do you have good games, right? It's, can you be consistent in your play enough that the team can rely on you, right? That's what being a franchise player means.
But some would say the lack of consistency had a lot to do with the O-line issues, a lack of running game, not having your starting receivers in early on drop balls last year. I mean, aren't these all valid excuses?
No, that's all fair.
Or reason?
The problem I have with using that to say, like, well, he's had some problems, so we should just give it to him, is that you're saying that because the dog ate my homework, I should be given an A, right?
Good comeback.
We don't know if he can be consistent, because we've had games where he'll make one throw and then he'll try that same throw again later and then not make it, right? Now, I think overall, I'd say I'm like 80% sure that, yeah, he's probably our guy. But 80% sure isn't 100% sure. And if you're asking for a definitive answer, has he proven it? I would say no. I would still give him something of an incomplete grade just because of what he's had to work with. But I don't think just because you've gotten it incomplete and that because the circumstances aren't perfect around you, that you can use that to say, well, I'm the franchise guy. Because franchise guy to me isn't just let's give him a year or two to see where he goes and to see if he can improve himself. Franchise guy means let's sign this dude for 15 years,
Yeah. And FYI, Donald Jarvis, team level, I see y'all backstage, man. I'm just trying to make sure it stays clean. I want to go with, like 1 or 2 at a time. So just bear with me. I appreciate y'all though. So you make some good points, but like I said, I'm going to be a neutral guy in this conversation. If you believe he's a franchise quarterback, I'm going to question you why. If you don't believe, I'm going to question you why, and I'm going to give some kickback either way. Because my thing is this, because what I'm trying to get out of this at the end of the day isn't for everybody else. It's for myself. I want to get a gauge of where the fan base is, because there's a decision that has to be made at the end of the season, because there's certain people, a person or persons that may come available. And to me, we have to know that he's going to be the franchise quarterback moving forward in order to come off of certain things. So I'm trying to figure out, do people feel like what he's done in the last 2 games, or some will say 5, just makes it, or 4 games, because Jacoby got the 1 win. Does that make him a franchise quarterback? So before I move on and bring someone else in, let me ask you this. Is there anything you can see in the rest of this season that will make you feel like he is a franchise quarterback? Long term going forward, where you would say yes and not a 45%, or he's headed in that direction? Because everybody that comes up here today, be prepared. I don't want to hear no indecisiveness. I want to know the state right now, yes or no. I don't want to, he's trending, he's headed in the right direction. I'm trying to find out, is he right now? Because at the end of the day, in the off season, that's how they're going to make their decision. Because you got a guy who they feel is guaranteed and a guy who we got to figure out, is he? So give me your thoughts at the end of for the rest of the season. Is there anything he can do?
I would say if he can continue to support the team the way he has been in his efficiency and his allowing the offense to function, even if at a somewhat rudimentary level, given all of its flaws and weaknesses, I'd say if he can continue this pace with noticeable improvements, then I would be willing to not make the Deshaun Watson move. Specifically because if I could get Deshaun Watson for a 7th round pick, there's very little Tua could do this year to say that he's better than Deshaun Watson for like a 7th, right? So the fact that you would have to make a trade does factor into it. But I think that for me, what it is that I don't think Tua's ceiling this year is going to make a Deshaun Watson trade unacceptable. I think Tua's ceiling next year and in the next couple of years is what's going to make a Deshaun Watson trade unthinkable, especially given the amount of assets you would have to give up for him.
And that's still purely a guess, right?
That is a guess. I will admit, I'm not one of those guys who says that Tua is, because, I mean, you know me, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. And honestly, I see enough from Tua that I'm confident he will get better. But I haven't seen enough from Tua to be like 100% he's the guy moving forward,
All right, man. I appreciate that take. It's a lot that I love to get into, but we got so much people backstage, so we're going to keep it moving. I want to try to give everybody about a good 5 minutes.
Ask me this question week 18 after the Patriots game.
I'm actually going to ask this like every 2 weeks going forward. I'm going to keep asking this because this is the question of the offseason. Because it's a matter, the real question at the end of the day, would Miami be irresponsible to go on hope or guarantee? And when I say guarantee, I'm not talking about, you're guaranteed to win a Super Bowl. We're just talking about skills, baby. We're just talking about pure raw talent, ability. All right. So that's what the real question is going to be. So we'll get there, man. But I appreciate you coming through, Marcus, man.
No, thank you, man. I'm glad to have received such a warm welcome. I'll definitely try
Hey,
and
man.
be here for the next few of them.
I hope so, man. It's always wanted whenever I see you in backstage. I always got to get you on, man. I enjoy your take because you keep it fair. Even if you disagree, you keep it fair, and that's what I appreciate more than anything, man.
Yeah, thanks. Well, take care. Good luck to the next guest.
Salute, salute. All right, man. Donald.
What's up, baby? How we doing?
I'm doing great. We all doing great, man. You know the rules. I done already told everybody. The first thing I need from you is a definitive yes or no, even if you don't feel definitive. Has he emerged as the Dolphins franchise quarterback?
Let me answer it this way.
I'm
I'm just hear me, TD.
Hey,
Hear
you
me.
know, no. See, I gotta be. There is a calculated reason why I have to get the yes or no before I get anything, Donald. You gotta give me that one thing for my study.
Let me say this first, and then I'll be definitive. He has done
This is
nothing.
you. This is you.
I
Go
understand.
ahead.
I understand. He has done nothing to not warrant being the franchise quarterback. Now, if I'm not mistaken, at the beginning of the season, these were your expectations.
Mhm.
Your expectations were,
Let's
now
go.
correct me if I'm wrong, you said Tua had to pass for at least 250 yards per game.
Let's go.
All right. Have at least 36 TDs
Uh-huh.
with less than 12 interceptions.
Okay. It doesn't look like
Okay.
he's gonna be doing that.
Okay. Well,
But that ain't my only expectations. He's not gonna meet those, but they're not my only expectations. But go ahead.
right. So, with that being said, to me, right now, the way he is playing as if he is playing to be the franchise quarterback.
Mhm.
And do I believe that Miami should extend him that for being selected by the Miami Dolphins? I would say yes. I would think he has earned that. And like I'm saying,
So he
despite
has. So your official answer to has Tua Tagovailoa emerged as the Miami Dolphins franchise quarterback? Your answer is yes.
yes,
Okay.
I believe he has. And
Why?
the reason why is this. Last year, 1,814 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Okay.
This year, he's putting up numbers better than what he did last year. To me, he's making better reads. He's improving. And at the same time, we do have to consider everything that's there. The one thing that I would like to see him do, which I think has been a benefit, which has beaten Belichick the past 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
He's incorporated running the ball at times, but we do know that we don't want to say he's injury prone, but he is prone to injury.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, Tua has to learn how to incorporate what limited amount of athleticism that he does have more into his game, as well as being able to scour the field to make premeditated throws that will show that he has began to understand defensive concepts as well as his own playbook. See, that's the thing about last year, TD, that kind of gets me from this. Everybody got on Tua because he didn't study the playbook. Ladies and gentlemen, when you come off a catastrophic injury like he did at Bama, it wasn't no guarantee that he was going to even play. His priority was to get on the field. With that being said, that took away from him being able to study the book. But now the excuses are gone. The excuses are gone, and he has to perform in order for the Miami Dolphins to get beyond that. From what I'm seeing right now, especially kind of against the defense that we talked about this past game against the Giants, man-to-man coverage concepts where he has to make throws in tight windows, he did pretty good. We always know that against the zone, he can tear you apart. Tua is accurate enough to tear you apart in the zone. What I wanted to see was against a man-to-man concept defense, how would he fare? And to me, he did pretty good. Not the best. Do we want better? Because we know he left some meat on the bone out there on the field. The thing that TD that I also would like to say about Tua is this: Tua is his hardest critic. He is more hard on himself than a lot of the critics are, and he recognizes there's some work to be done. With that being said, from a second-year player that just went over and got his 16th pro game as an NFL quarterback, why not? Right now, what you're seeing out of the picks that you have made thus far, outside of Noah Igbenogany, those first rounders are playing. They are getting better. They're not where we want them to be, but I got to give them an opportunity just like I give any other rookie.
Absolutely.
Hey, yeah, so hey, let's go. I've been watching this team since 1969. So guess what? It's a process, and it's 3 years into a rebuild. Hey, let it go and let Brian Flores cook. He is still concocting things. He's a rookie head coach to me, and he's still learning. And Frisco lost yesterday too, so that draft pick going up a little bit more.
Well, I need that to happen.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
let me ask you, let me paraphrase, let me go back and make sure I'm understanding the main reasons why you feel Tua Tagovailoa is a franchise quarterback, and you correct me where I'm wrong, acknowledge me where I'm right.
Yes,
So first and foremost, you've seen improvement across the board in many areas. One of the main ones being the man concept, which we all want to see a level of consistency on. Also, big wins against like a team like New England to start the season. And also what you've been seeing in these last 4 games that he's played, complimentary to the team. So let me ask you this, because I think we've had these conversations before. What you saw last year wouldn't have given you that inclination, but what you've seen as of late and everything I just named has you feeling that way. So how should teams feel? Like, let me give you an example, like the Lions, Sam Darnold, right? Came out first 4 games. All of a sudden, look at Sam Darnold. It was just the environment he was in. His games were just as hot as what Tua's doing right now. I mean, this guy, you would think like, oh my gosh, he's putting up numbers, doing it all, 300-yard games, the touchdowns, everything going. And now they can't wait to get to the offseason to figure it out. The Philadelphia Eagles, you got a quarterback who goes on this somewhat historic run and win a Super Bowl, and now nobody would ever want him as their starter.
Nick Foles.
But you have these things that happen, and I would even say what those guys did in their little stint has been more impressive than what Tua's done in his stint, not from a completion percentage standpoint, but I mean, in their stints, they showed the whole repertoire: deep ball, short ball, just everything, making crazy plays. Why is it different for Tua now that, but this is different? He can't start fizzling out and we're like, oh, well, we thought.
I would say one difference. First of all, Sam Darnold plays for the Carolina Panthers, not the Lions. But
yeah, my bad. Thank you for that. Same color.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, but even in his case, in Nick Foles' case, the problem is this: once these individuals got under pressure, that is, things weren't going as right, they didn't know how to handle it. Tua, on the other hand, is different. And to me, I'm going to tell you the prime example in the game in which we can look at, TD. Tua's last regular season game in 2020 against Buffalo in a blowout win. Okay, Buffalo just dominated the game. What I saw from Tua in that game was this: I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep playing. He kept playing. Now, the game was over, but that's what you want to see in your quarterback. And that's a rookie, TD. That's a rookie playing 8 games.
We're talking about moral victories. We're talking about when they put their backup players in.
No, it's more than that, TD. Because remember, Again, Tua only played 8 games in that. The difference between him and a Sam Darnold and a Nick Foles that both have years of experience under their belt, as opposed to a player playing 8 games. He took it better, still trying to play than those guys. Those guys.
But Pat White, John Beck, all of them never gave up.
No,
they still kept trying hard.
But the difference is, again, rookie 1 year, as opposed to 2 players that have played in this league several years. There's a difference.
Pat White and John Beck.
That's a difference.
When we had them.
No, I know we had them, TD, but again, at the same time, we didn't have the ineptitude of coaches either at that time either. Now, again, we're not talking Brian Flores type coaches that we had for either one of those quarterbacks for our franchise. That's a whole different ball game. What we're talking about is this, and I understand Greer's concept of getting players that have been through something. To me, the only failed transcript that you see from that, to me, is with Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson still is a big baby to me. He's got to grow up, and you're starting to see him being at a different position, beginning his maturation. I saw the same thing with the running back that we got out of Ohio State with Miami when he came here, and unfortunately things didn't work out with him either. But when you get young players coming into the NFL, it's a whole different mindset, as opposed to just not only the physicality, it's the mental aspect. To me, Tua is showing from a mental aspect growth. That's unlike what you've seen with a Sam Darnold. That's the one thing about Sam Darnold I haven't seen. Yeah, he got the physical attributes, but I hadn't seen it up here. Same thing with Nick Foles. When Nick Foles started getting pressured and everything wasn't coming to him as great, same thing. Up here, it was gone. Tua, on the other hand, still stayed the way that he did and was progressing. That's what you want to see in your young players. I like to see that from my 24-year-old quarterback going forward, that he's steadily beginning to grasp everything a little bit more. I think we're seeing that every game. Every game we're seeing that a little bit better. And that's what we want to see as a fan base and as a franchise going forward. Now, are we saying that he's still in that Deshaun Watson category? Absolutely not. Deshaun is on a whole different level than any of those QBs that we have just mentioned.
But you would bypass Deshaun Watson if he cleared everything right now. Tua's gotten to a place where you would bypass Deshaun Watson.
I think he's worth a chance in bypassing now. But at the same time, if they made the move, TD, again, this is my team since 1969. Whoever's on our team, I'm supporting. Tua is our quarterback right now. That's who I'm supporting. If they made the move and got Deshaun Watson, hey, it is what it is. Welcome to South Beach, Deshaun. You are a quarterback. Let's go Phoenix.
Got you, man. I appreciate that, man. We got a lot of people backstage, but that's what's up, Donna, man. That's an interesting perspective about it, which actually a lot of it makes sense, man. I appreciate you coming through, sir.
Hey, y'all take care. God bless and happy holidays. Hey. And Lord willing, we'll see you in 2 weeks, sir.
Yes, sir. You already know.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Who we got up next? Let's see here. Dolphins Zay, what's the business, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up, TD?
What's up, homie? Talk to me, man. You got to answer the question first.
Yeah, man.
Tua Tagovailoa emerged as the Miami Dolphins franchise quarterback?
I think he has, from the standpoint, he does what you want to be done from a developing quarterback. You want 2 things, right? You want your quarterback to be able to win in spite of and lift up the offense, which he's been doing, because our O-line is hot garbage. And 2, you want him to be able to just constantly show improvement and have a mental recollection of being able to fix mistakes. And I can give you an example of I don't know if it was this year's Pacers game or the one from last year, but he threw a pick in the red zone, and the very next time he came back and did the same thing, he ran it in for a touchdown. So he's showing you mentally that he's overcoming his mistakes and or he's 2 weeks, but he still kept and
You're breaking up, bro.
Comeback drive.
You're breaking up a little. Is he breaking up for y'all who are watching, or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I want to make sure I ain't tripping. I don't want to make it look like I'm trying to cut nobody off. Y'all, yeah, he breaking up. You going in and out. It's real. It's like freezing, and your voice is hop out and come back in. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it just got better, bro. We can stay. If it mess up again, then hop out and come in. So right now, now let me ask you a question about what you were saying there. We didn't hear the back end, but I got to question something already. How is Tua lifting the offense?
Okay,
because I just see a guy
right now.
I see a guy in a system. I see a guy in the system just doing his role. How is he lifting the offense?
Okay, because right now we're running a ball control passing offense. Normally, ball control offenses run the ball, but we have to pass because we cannot run. And despite what you may think, TD, our O-line is hot garbage. All right, everybody points to pressures, but it's not the pressures. It's the win rate. Our O-line wins at a 45% win rate, which is dead last in NFL. That means 55% of the time, 1 out of every 2 plays, someone is whiffing. Someone is straight missing. So because we happen to have a quarterback who, lo and behold, he's a college RPO god, you can run a quick passing offense, ball control offense, because we can't run consistently. We're averaging like 3.5 yards, 3 yards per carry, and we really even so. I'll be honest, Tua does have a hole in this game to where I think mentally he doesn't pull the trigger to go deep, but I think it's because everyone's so goddamn scared of this offensive line that they're just trying to. We're doing death by 1,000 cuts.
So
we have to.
Hold on, bro. I guess bring the volume down a little. It might help without where it don't cut out. And let's try to keep it clean for the kids that's watching.
All right, my bad, man. I'm just so you know.
You're good, bro. I appreciate you coming through. So here's why I don't see Tua as uplifting the offense. Because I just see another guy doing his job. And just like I don't see Waddle uplifting the offense, he's just doing his job. 90% of Tua's throws are NFL wide open. Whether so if
but
you got
remember last year.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
So when you got a wide open guy and you're throwing in less than 2 seconds because that's what the scheme requires, and you're throwing a perfect pass, might I add, that's just doing your job. Do you know what lifting the offense is? When nothing is there and you still make something happen. When everyone's covered and you throw that ball like you did to Gesicki in the 4th quarter to seal the game, which is rare from Tua.
But that's not true. That's not true, TD. Tua is a top 3 quarterback in tight window throws this year. He's a top 3. Like that's just simply not true. He's putting the ball in tight windows on Parker fades or all the slants. Parker's don't create separation. Mike Gesicki, as good as he is, I think he's a top 5 tight end in the NFL. He doesn't create separation. Our playmakers do not create separation. They just don't.
He's number 3 in tight window throws because 80% of his tight window throws are 50-50 balls. So I agree. Parker don't create separation, but he is deadly on the 50-50 tight window. When a guy's draped over you, it gets checked under the tight window category. Tight windows aren't just between 2 guys. It's just if a guy is in this much of a vicinity of you, it's considered a tight window. Those are all your 50-50 balls. And I give him credit. He puts it perfectly on the back shoulder in moments like that. But what I'm saying to you is we could pull up any game right now. 90% of all his throws are a NFL wide open guy.
Okay, but let me hit you with this, though.
So you're doing your job. Lifting an offense and carrying an offense is when nobody's open, you make something happen. or you're throwing that dime every single time. And I'm not talking about a guy is here and a guy is there and the player is in the middle and there's 5 feet separation on both sides, dime in the middle. That's not what I'm talking about. He's not carrying the offense or uplifting the offense.
But he is, because if he's not efficient,
perfectly.
We don't win games. If the offense doesn't move.
Hold on.
If Tua has a bad game, we lose.
If the receivers have a bad game, we lose. If the offensive line gave up 5 sacks a game, we lose. If they would if his pocket presence wasn't so good. Hold on. If the defense doesn't play well, we definitely lose.
That's true. See Atlanta.
So every element of the offense, we lose. It's not just him. Imagine Waddle if he had a 50% drop rate. We lose. So
he'd be a bust.
But we lose. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Waddle's not carrying this offense. He's doing his job. Tua's not carrying this offense. He's doing his job and doing it well. Those guys are just doing their job.
I got 2 pushbacks. Yeah, go ahead.
And another thing, offensive line, they're trying to do their job, but they come up short a lot of times. But that's the difference between us. That's the difference between us putting up 30 points a game if they were actually able to do their job. Now, if Tua was putting up 30 points a game with this O-line in our run game, then you can say he definitely carrying. He's lifting them, but he's just doing his job. This system is built for him to just do your job. That's it.
So I have 2 pushbacks on that point. One, the things he's doing this season, he wasn't doing last season. People was killing him for. Fitzpatrick will come like the pocket presence. The reason why the O-line don't have more sacks is because Tua erases a lot of sacks. Now I did see your piece about the RPO and how it gives up pressure, which is true. But
our offensive system erases more sacks now.
No. The RPO, I did see a piece about the RPO and the pressures. So that's true. So you can't look at the pressures. However, let's be real. Remember Jesse Davis on the bum knee and Austin Jackson, they whiff on a lot of blocks, and he erases sacks with his pocket presence. There's a clear difference between Brissett's pocket presence and Tua's pocket presence. And to the point about the franchise quarterback is Brissett is a backup. He can't erase sacks. Tua's out there erasing sacks. The O-line looks better with Tua in there besides Brissett. So that's one indication that you may have a franchise quarterback on your hands.
Who's averaging more sacks?
Well, when they both had 5.5 games, I think before the Carolina game, I believe through 5.5 games, Brissett had 18 sacks given up, where Tua only had 8. So, Tua's played more games since that. Yeah, I think this was prior to the Carolina game.
But Tua had only played what, 1 game or 2?
No, they both played 5.5 games. They both at that time when I seen the statistic, they both played 5.5 games. Brissett had 18 sacks and Tua only had 8 behind the same O-line. The same O-line.
And they both had played 5.5 at that point.
Correct, sir. I could see in the screenshot. It was going all over Twitter.
Yeah, I definitely got to see that because I remember seeing that we weren't actually giving up sacks. It was only pressures, regardless of who was playing. And then on top of it, earlier in the season, Brissett was throwing the ball about 10 more times a game than Tua Tagovailoa. But I'll check it out. But my thing is this with Tua Tagovailoa in regards to carrying an offense. I don't get this notion that we call it carrying because a guy is doing his job, even if he's the only one doing his job. That's not carrying. You're just doing your job.
Nobody else doing their job. Nobody else.
Yeah, but again, if nobody else was doing their job, he wouldn't have 80% completion.
Correct.
If nobody else was doing their job. I mean, I don't get that notion that nobody else is doing their job. I don't know why people say that. Plenty of people are doing their job, but we only want to pay attention to Tua Tagovailoa doing his. Once again, he's not carrying this offense or lifting this offense because the offense, and it's the main reason he's not carrying them or lifting them. They ain't doing nothing. Even with what you've seen with a high level of play, ain't putting up the points it should.
They're putting up W's, man. W's.
No, I get no. See, that's where
winning and losing is a quarterback stat. That is a quarterback stat.
It's not. Y'all make it that. It's not a quarterback stat. Because if you want to make it a quarterback stat, then why don't our defense go back to playing first 6 games football? And let's see if you want.
Tua caught all the heat for the Atlanta game, and the defense lost that game. Did he not?
The defense didn't lose you the game. Your quarterback
X got bombed for our final play. What do you mean? The defense lost us the Jazz game. B-Flow, as much as I love him, got out coached by Urban Meyer for the final play. Tua didn't lose those games, but he took all the criticism.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. In that game, if Tua didn't throw any picks, would we have lost?
He overcame them. He had a 4-quarter comeback drive.
And that's good.
It happens. It happens. He's developing. It happens.
Hold on.
He did throw picks, yes.
Hold on. I asked you a question, though. You didn't give me an answer. If he hadn't thrown any of those picks, would we win? Would we have won that game?
Yes. If X play like the top paid corner in the league, we would also win the game.
And even if I sat here and agreed with you on that, so it was only on the defense? So I think based off of your own logic,
I give more of the L to the defense. Yes.
Hold on.
Because Atlanta ain't put up 28 points on nobody else. Atlanta put up 30 on nobody else the rest of the season.
Even if I give you that and say you put more on the defense, name who else? Let's see if we can get you to name who else is responsible. I just gave you the defense. Who else? Because they didn't own it by themselves. Who else is responsible for losing that game? Let's see if you can bear to say it out of your mouth.
Tua had a part in the play. Yes, I'm not going to deny that.
He had a part in what?
But when you put up 28 hold on.
He had a part. Tua had a part in the reason why we lost.
Yes, he had a part. There's a lot of blame part to go around. I want to give him the biggest percentage in that game,
that's fine.
He had a part. No, he doesn't have a part.
That's fine. That's all I was asking. So that's the point that I'm making. How can somebody be carrying somebody when the offense ain't doing nothing, period, anyway? Even right now, this offense is not doing anything.
But so this is where I think Tua supporters and Tua non-supporters disagree. A lot of people think it's a function of Tua, which is partly true. He's developing. So when you're developing, you're going to have holes in your game. But I'm a believer that I think it's more on the offensive line. I think the OCs are scared to death, especially because our O-line got 2 quarterbacks hurt, 2 with the ribs, and Brissett got hurt. I think our OCs is calling the games because of our offensive line and less because of Tua. And just so because we happen to have a quarterback who can run this style of offense to perfection, he's arguably the best RPO college quarterback ever. That's undisputed. You have to run this because we can't run nothing else. They can't block for 3 seconds.
Let me clear something up for you all, ladies and gentlemen. Dolphin Zay just said Tua is the best at running the RPO
in college,
and he is
arguably
in the NFL too, in my opinion, and he is right. But do y'all realize this team does not want to just run the RPO, but they have to?
Me neither. And that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's what we disagree. I think it's being run because of the O-line and not Tua. And Tua, people who don't like Tua are saying it's because of him. I think he can run offense, but the offensive line does not give you that chance. We just don't get that chance. It's just not happening.
I actually partially agree with you. It is the O-line. It is the run game. Where we differ
run game?
Exactly. That's the point. The reason why they've stripped the playbook down to just the RPO is because of the O-line, it's because of the run game, and it's because of Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes.
See, I guess it's all 3 of them as to why they've stripped it down. And the difference is, and I don't know if me and you have this difference, some people are saying it's only Tua, and some people are saying it's only the lack of run game in the O-line. And my stance is it's all 3 is why they're limiting it. So
I agree.
Once we understand that and come to that conclusion, this is why I tell people, if you're so quick to replace certain people on the O-line, except Jesse Davis, he got to go. But all these other young
I think
guys,
Austin Jackson got to go.
no. I mean, hey,
he's a turnstile, man. Like he's been a turnstile since college. I don't know why we took him in the first round, but that's just me. I had a bust grade on him from the jump.
They picked him up though. So if we're gonna sit here and say we got faith in other people growing that for things that we ain't see yet, they probably feel the same way about everybody. I still feel like they holding out hope for Noah Igbenogany and feel like he's going to turn the corner eventually. I feel like they think that they're going to get the production they eventually need out of Hunter Long, who was actually on the field and caught a ball on Sunday.
Yeah, we had a sighting. Yeah,
but these guys are more in the doghouse than Austin Jackson. But we're not talking about that. You know why? Because Austin Jackson was a first round pick. But so was Tua Tagovailoa. So my thing is, at the end of the day, you feel like Tua Tagovailoa has emerged as the Miami Dolphins franchise quarterback. Last question I have for you, because we got a lot of people backstage.
Yes, sir.
What else do you need to see in Tua Tagovailoa?
So it's adding to his game the deep ball. That is a clear and concise hole in his game, and there are plays where he seems to look at the receiver and won't throw it. And I think with him, it's mental. I think it's something he's just trying to work through. And because I've seen the progress from last year to this year, there is clear, like he had clear holes last year that he worked on this year. I believe that he can fix that. But
which deep ball?
No, just pulling the trigger in general. Like so
he pulls the trigger. He pulls the trigger on the deep ball. If a guy is wide open, college open, he's pulled it every time.
Exactly. Exactly. No, exactly. Exactly. And no, you're 100% correct. Remember last year, he wouldn't throw NFL open to anywhere in the field. So he was holding the ball and taking sacks, and Fitzpatrick came in and did better. And now this year on the short and intermediate, he's hitting NFL open. I think for his next step, he needs to hit the deep ball at the NFL open low, because he has the accuracy and ball placement to do it. But because I think he's trying to overcome just being. I think he's a little gun shy, and so, which is a mental thing. If he can overcome that, I think that will take him to the next level of quarterbacks.
So what do you mean intermediate? What's your definition of intermediate?
Intermediate to me is 10 to 15 yards, because I believe the NFL's long ball, I think it's 20 yards. If you Google it, say like 20 yards is a deep ball or a long ball. So you really don't have to throw far. Like this whole notion he needs a cannon.
Of that. Okay,
but so you don't need to throw 6 to 7 yards in the NFL. No quarterback's out here doing that routinely. So this whole notion he needs a cannon, I think has been ridiculous from the jump. He can throw 50 to 54 yards. That's good enough. You can run an entire NFL playbook being able to throw the ball 50 to 54 yards. The only thing I have a question for with him is the 15-yard out routes. Those are big boy strong arm routes.
15-yard out routes.
Yeah, I haven't seen him do it, so I don't know if he can do it. I'm just being honest.
But we don't run it. We don't run 15 outs, but now we run post.
Yeah.
We run the post in the open field, but he don't. You mean he don't hit those? You mean?
No. I was saying from a standpoint of an intermediate strong arm route, like a route I can gauge his true arm strength on. Is like a 15-yard out route. Like that's a real high level NFL, at least to me anyway, or people that I've talked to.
Let me, and I appreciate you coming through, Dolphin fan, Zay, because I got to move on to someone else. But I gotta say this. I want to be clear to everybody. First of all, everybody please pay attention to what I'm about to say, because I'm tired of repeating myself. Tua can make almost all of these throws. That is a freaking fact. He can make the throws. Nobody is questioning if he can make the throws. It's just always, can he make it in tight coverage? That's really what it is. Or NFL open even. See, tight coverage is a guy draping on your back and you place it perfectly. We ain't seen that in those specific throws we're talking about. And then you got NFL open. Guy beating this guy by 4 feet. College Open is 8 feet. NFL Open 4 feet. Some will say NFL Open is 2 feet, but that's where I'm at with it. 4 feet. He won't throw those. That's the
on a
issue.
deep ball. No, he won't. On a deep ball, he won't. I agree.
I could see him in practice. He throws them and he can make the throw, but he won't do it in a game because and I can't see him. I'm not going to say because I don't know why. And that's what I'm trying to figure out for me to feel like he is our future. Now, here's another thing I'll say though. A thing that frustrated me with Tua Tagovailoa. And I said this after the game and people ripped me apart and called me a hater. They talk about how great his accuracy is. He's accurate on pinpoint throws, but not moving throws all the time in motion. Tua has an accuracy issue with ball placement. There's a difference between a completion and a completion that allows you in stride to get yards after the catch. Tua continues to have an issue with accuracy as far as ball placement. And I said that yesterday. I said, I think Tua had a good game, but his ball placement was off today. He was not as accurate as, it was a completion, but his ball placement was really bad today. Oh, you just a hater. Oh, you just a hater. You just a hater. I don't know if you see that, but why do I get called a hater for pointing out something that's a fact? Or do you
he can be inconsistent with that, but that's the thing. People who support him just accept that he's developing. And when you're development, part of the biggest part of that, honestly, is developing consistency. Yeah. And if and when he can do that, I think he has a chance to be a upper echelon quarterback. And to me, it's like top 8 to 12. I think that's his ceiling, top 8 to 12. And if we can get him to be consistent and pull the trigger.
Top 8 to 12 is good enough for me. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's good enough for me. But I appreciate you coming through, homie.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much. Now, listen, all y'all people in the comment section, I made the comment again, and y'all still here trying to rip me apart. I see it. Hater, you're wrong. The stats disagree with you. I see all y'all. The man has not been accurate with his ball placement. I keep telling y'all that, and all y'all do is try to rip me apart and call me a hater. All y'all try to do is rip me apart and call me a hater. I want to get a poll in the comment section right now. When I say Tua's ball placement, it just hasn't been accurate, and it wasn't accurate in the last game. Am I wrong or am I right? Yes or no in the comment section. No, just put wrong or right in the comment section. Shag said, I like TD, but I disagree. Bolt up, TD is speaking facts. Okay. Roberto said wrong. Look at these wrongs. All right. Y'all know I be setting people up. Y'all know good and well. Yeah, if you've been on this channel long enough, you know I be setting people up. And these are the moments that I just love. See, they call me a Tua hater. But the truth is, I just got haters. They said because I said his ball placement was an issue in the game, they call me a hater. See, I get called a hater for telling the truth. And I'm about to prove to y'all, I said this before Tua. So all y'all who think I'm wrong, this is what I be talking about.
You had amazing chemistry with your receivers. Mike Gesicki, Devontae Parker coming back from injury. Is this the best connection you've had with them all season?
I think there's a lot that we can learn from today. Ball placement for me, some catches, but I think overall it's a continuation of us learning.
I can't drop the mic. I got to be a hater because I deliver facts on this channel and I'm objective. Me being objective means I'm a hater. Me trying to give y'all fair, honest content as much as I can means I'm a hater. But I can't get too mad because that's why y'all listen to me. I realized today sitting back, dang, I try to be honest and give my honest opinion, but they still kill me and call me a hater. But then I had to just sit back and say, you know what? There's a reason they're still listening. Because they know there's some truth to what you be saying. They don't want to hear it, but people are always flock to the truth. Even if they don't want to hear it and it hurts and they push back on it, they're going to still always flock back to the truth. So just for y'all who thought that game didn't have ball placement issues, and I said this on my stream before Tua said it, so don't think I said it just because he said it. I said it right after the game, right before his interview. And y'all, you just a hater.
Amazing chemistry with your receivers. Mike Gesicki, Devontae Parker coming back from injury. Is this the best connection you've had with them all season?
You know, I think there's a lot that we can learn from today. You know, ball placement for me, some catches. But I think overall it's a continuation of us learning.
I'm waiting on y'all to call Tua a hater. Tua is a Tua hater. I'm waiting. Oh my God. Hey, I'm waiting on y'all to call Tua a Tua hater. Oh, and you know what they gonna say? They gonna move the goalpost. Well, he's just humble. He's just humble. But why does he have to be humble and specific to what I noticed? Why does he have to be humble and specific to what I noticed? I try to give y'all the fairest content that I can. I told y'all this kid will never be a bum. I'm actually impressed with the play that I'm seeing from him right now, but I still need to see A, B, and C. Just the fairest that I could be. Just the fairest I could be. So all my haters, bow down. Bow down. Bow down. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to put y'all through this torture. But just for my haters, one more time, baby. One more time. I'm waiting on them to call Tua a Tua hater.
You had amazing chemistry with your receivers. Mike Gesicki, Devontae Parker coming back from injury. Is this the best connection you've had with them all season?
You know, I think there's a lot that we can learn from today. You know, ball placement for me, some catches. But I think overall it's a continuation of us learning.
You know why I'm getting it right over here every time? Because I'm really evaluating him and I'm not being an apologist. I'm really giving you my take on him and I'm not being a fanboy. That's why I'm always getting it right over here. And you know the saddest part about it? I didn't say anything else critical about Tua's game yesterday. I gave y'all an analysis yesterday of Tua's game. I said I give it a B-. I really liked what he did. He did what we asked him to do very well. He didn't turn the ball over. I liked the game that he played yesterday. If I was to be critical about one thing, I think that, you know, he struggled with his ball placement. And that's the fairest I could have been. And people still found a way to say, oh my gosh, you always got something to say, and calling him a hater. Tell me what else I said yesterday about his game. Anything that was critical. I ain't say a single thing other than ball placement critical about his entire game. But some of y'all just live to hate. Some of y'all live to hate on TD. See, it's popular to give this narrative that TD a hater. Because I'm one of the few people, and I'm going to say this, yeah, and boldly, that's out here telling you the 100% unadulterated truth. Giving you straight up the real analysis of Tua Tagovailoa. And the sad part about it, if you really listen to me, you would be impressed with Tua based off of my analysis. You would be encouraged by Tua based off of my analysis. The problem is you just watch this just to prove me wrong, so you'll hear 10 good things and one bad thing and just jump on that like I said 11 bad things. If Deshaun Watson wasn't in the picture, I would be ecstatic about Tua being our future. That's what y'all need to understand, and you should feel great about that. If I didn't have an upgrade option, he's the perfect option. This ain't about, watching ears, Tua haters, and all of that stuff. This is about straight up what's going to be in the best interest of the Miami Dolphins organization. Any position on this team, if we can upgrade it, it has to be explored, as Chris Greer said. So all this narrative, you just a hater, I embrace it because y'all the ones that make the show a lot of times. You give me credibility. Every time you call me a hater for something, I just do this and get more credibility.
You had amazing chemistry with your receivers. Mike Gesicki, Devontae Parker coming back from injury. Is this the best connection you've had with them all season?
You know, I think there's a lot that we can learn from today. You know, ball placement for me, some catches, but I think overall it's a continuation of us learning.
You make me look good. My haters don't realize they make me look good. That's why y'all be like, why don't you just block them, TD? Because I love their false narratives because I get a chance to ether them. To show y'all who real and who fake out here. So now to be fair though, I do recognize that there are some real Tua haters. I do recognize that. But I ignore those people. I know the people who go over and beyond to hate on Tua Tagovailoa. It's the same people that said his last game was trash. That's ridiculous. I haven't said a single game in the last 4 weeks was below a C for Tua Tagovailoa. Well, maybe the Atlanta game. I don't even think I gave it a grade, but I don't care what you say. And we lost to the Jags, but I still gave him a decent mark on that. So I recognize there are Tua haters. But don't bucket me with them. And if you choose to, I just keep ethering you and proving my point. But this ain't the first time. I keep on bringing film to prove my point. I keep on bringing the facts. Y'all want to call me a hater for something Tua say himself, and your only comeback is he's humble. He's humble. He's going to be critical of himself. Exactly. And I am too. I am too. I am too. So for the record, ladies and gentlemen, Tua Tagovailoa, in my opinion, will never be a scrub, will never be a bum. He will never be trash. Now, I know last year I had some games I was calling them trash, but I also told y'all in them games, this is my emotion speaking. He ain't trash, but he played like trash. Trash. That's how I am at game time. And I know some of y'all so in love with him that hurt your feelings. It's like telling your wife, oh, your wife trash. I get it. You're so married into it. I get it. I'm sorry. But you know what? Maybe that's what it's going to take. I'm so sorry to all y'all who married the Tua Tagovailoa. I am sorry for disrespecting your spouse. I am so sorry for disrespecting your spouse. Please forgive me and let's move on. I'm so sorry. There's no place for that. And I'm going to try my best not to do it again. Didn't say I wasn't going to do it again, but I'm going to try my best. I'm sorry. Now, will you be man or woman enough to forgive me? Somebody said, TD got me crying. Listen, man, you got to talk to these people this way, man. I'm just saying. You got to talk to these people this way. Because y'all got to realize we trying to have good football talk over here, but we got to fight through the people who want to ignore facts. We got to keep arguing with people that want to ignore facts. They want to ignore facts, man. And that don't make for a healthy, great conversation. So they want to take it there. You got to talk to them like this. You got to treat them like they 5 years old. Man, but anyway, man, Tua Tagovailoa, for the record, I keep on telling y'all every 2 weeks for the record, Tua will never be a bum. Tua is not an average quarterback. I know people say that. Tua at his worst will be slightly above average. And right now, Tua's playing good. But there's levels to this, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there's so many different levels. Average, above average, good, really good, great, excellent, elite. You know, there's levels to this. And Tua's bottom, I mean, of course, everybody gonna have a trash game where they just down in the dirt. But I'm talking about as an overall player, his floor is above average. And right now, what we're seeing, his ceiling of what we've seen so far is really good. Not great. And that ain't a bad threshold to be in. The only question is, can he grow past really good to great? Now, y'all be like, he is great. You're just in your feelings. You're projecting what you want him to be. And it don't mean he won't be, but that's the question. Will he be great? Can he get to great? We don't need him to be elite, but can he get to great? Great ain't determined by completion percentage. Great ain't determined because you surgical in the first 10 yards. You can be really good at this format, but that ain't where great is determined. And I'm trying to show y'all on this channel what would get him into the great stratosphere. And I'm giving you two areas that will help him propel into the great stratosphere. And that third down to Gesicki is an example of you can get that on a consistent, reliable basis is what can propel you to great. Not that you did it one time. That's all I'm saying. Now, we all know what I say ain't the end all be. We know that. Y'all ain't got to remind me that. What I say ain't the gospel. Just because TD say it don't make it what it is. But I'm standing on what I say. And that's what I believe. And that's where he is as a quarterback right now. And the truth is, the reason why a lot of y'all watch me to begin with is you deep down know that I'm trying to be as fair as possible. It's just that when you have to be critical, it's like telling your children their flaws or their issues. You don't want to tell them that. It's like if you see something wrong with your mom, you wouldn't dare tell mama. It's like having a spouse and it's something you don't like, but it's kind of embarrassing, so you wouldn't dare tell them. I'm that guy. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. And that's a huge reason why a lot of people watch me, because I'm going to say it. I ain't paid for, I ain't bought. I ain't under the standards of the Sun Sentinel, the Miami Herald, the Miami Dolphins media. I'm not under their control or what I can say and what I can't say, what I can report, what I can't report. I'm going to say it. And that's why I appreciate those who do rock with me. But the saddest thing of it all, some people hate me off the account of what others say about me. Some people hate me off the account of what others say about me. Or some people have been pumped in their head the perfection of certain people so much that the first time they turn on my stream, they hear me say something like, you know, I just didn't like Tua's ball placement in this. What is this guy? He's an idiot. I can't, didn't even hear why. But Tua say it, and they didn't even hear Tua interview. They heard this same, all the Tua, y'all know the Tua's biggest fans, all of them heard that interview. But it didn't even register for them. It didn't even register for them. Salute to y'all, all y'all in the comment section giving me love. I rock with you, TD. People think I don't because I'm a Tua near. So, oh my gosh, that made my day. A Tua near say I rock with you, TD. People think I don't because I'm a Tua near. And that means they probably be talking trash to you about me, not knowing, oh, I actually rock with TD. Salute to you. Salute to the and y'all see, I got friend Tua nears. Me and T Rich, I'm good with T Rich. He the biggest Tua near I know on here. But do you see me having an issue with T Rich? Because at least T Rich keep it 1,000. He at least honest to tell me his stance. So I know if he's going to show a little bit of extra love, he should. So when you come on this channel and you give your opinion, make sure your stance is known. Make sure your stance is known. Somebody said, you my pastor. I'll take that in a different term, but I ain't trying to be a pastor unless I get ordained. All right. Who knows? You never know what's in the future. God ain't done with me yet. TD, I love you, bro. But supporting Tannehill is called C007 showed up. C007 done showed up. Boy, oh boy, the biggest Tannehill hater of all time. And that's what C007. Oh, I'm gonna get you too. Hey, you talk about somebody who just don't like Tannehill. Just don't like Tannehill, but all in on Tua. Boy, I tell you. You're good, TD. That's what's up, D-Pass. This is how I see it. Tua is doing what he needs to do under the current circumstance with our blank O-line and run game, which I agree. Complement our elite D by protecting the ball. I agree. Now, when our O-line matures, and then the message cut off. I'm going to finish that. Now, when the O-line matures and the run game is solidified, then we'll be able to fairly evaluate him if we let him get to that point. See, that's another thing they ain't going to say, but I'm going to say it. If they let him get to that point. If they let him get to that point. Because this offseason, they still got a decision to make. We'll see. Man, my bad. I got a lot of people backstage. I didn't even notice. Let me see here. Team level, man. I ain't got much time. Just give me your thoughts, man.
What's up, T?
What's up, homie?
All right, so I think Tua is a franchise quarterback, and I just wanted to say I don't think you're a Tua hater. I think you're just a little harsh on him compared to the other Dolphins YouTubers that I watch. But
you
I think you're fair to
compare
everyone
me.
else on the team and the coaching staff, though. I'll give you that.
You shouldn't compare me, though, because if you compare me with somebody who's overly loving of him, then it's going to make me look harsh. It's going to make a fair person look harsh.
Do you think Doug is over or loving to him?
Doug points it out how he sees it. What y'all need to understand is I've had personal conversations one-on-one with Doug. Doug is more similar to me than y'all think. The difference is he's not going to keep on mentioning it or pointing it out and give you the example on, the negative stuff. But he sees some of it. But he's not going to put an emphasis on anything until he gets a bigger sample size. I'm a right here in this moment guy. This is what I'm getting. Let me talk about what I'm getting. If Tua changes the narrative and gives me something else, I'll change it. So that's kind of how we are. So that's why I love Doug's commentary. I understand his personality and what he brings and how he puts out the content, and it's fair in my opinion. But you're not going to get the animation, I guess, that I'm going to always just drive. I'm going to drive the animation on every point because some people don't see a point through just words. You got to give an example 3 different times in 3 different ways for people to actually see what you're trying to say, whether they agree or disagree. And that's why.
Okay, so to your point about Tua's throws not being as accurate this week, I actually went to the game and I agree with you. Especially in the first through third quarter, I think the throws were a little off. But I think
first and third quarter.
Fourth quarter.
What was that about the fourth? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you there? What did you say?
I said Tua seems to always pick it up in the fourth. That's just what it does.
Yeah, I agree. I loved what I saw. Yeah, I hear you now, team level. I love what I saw in the fourth quarter. It was the first and third quarter. I've had conversation with like 8 people today about Tua's game yesterday because a lot of people always, TD, what'd you think? That first and third quarter just wasn't good. And I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't know why that is.
Let's back up for a second. The second quarter wasn't good either. That 4-minute drill was good, but that's because teams always in a 2-minute drill, 4-minute, let's say 2-minute drill, because we only got 15 yards in the first 2 minutes before it hit the 2-minute warning. But the second quarter wasn't good either until we got in the last 2 minutes and they decided to switch from a man concept to a zone. And they were kind of like playing bend but don't break. But we executed it perfectly. Every time there was somebody wide open in the zone. I mean, and I think all y'all noticed that in that 2-minute drill, they went zone and we just killed them. Easy 12-yarders across the middle, wide open, like 4 plays in a row. So that's where, and this is the thing. Evaluating is so complex. You have to establish what you're actually looking for. So when I see zone coverage on Tua, I'm not learning anything. Everybody else is seeing all the completions. They're like, man, he's on fire. He's a great quarterback. I'm not learning anything. I already know he does that flawlessly.
Yeah.
So to be quite honest with you, that whole game, I didn't get excited about Tua until the last 4 minutes. That's why I keep referencing the throw to Gesicki. That's the pass I want to see about 5, 6, 7 times a game because it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of the game, a 50-50 to Parker. I wasn't impressed. We all seen that, and it's been executed at a high level. People act like it was something new. We know what Tua can do well. I'm watching the game, waiting on those circumstances and situations that he doesn't do well, seeing if I see the improvement. And once we go in those moments, I'm like, oh, yeah, they're running man. Let's see how he handles it. He didn't do well in the first quarter. He didn't do well in the third quarter versus man concept. Most of the second quarter, he didn't do well versus the man concept. Except at the end of the second quarter, they switched to a zone. He killed them and got the touchdown. Fourth quarter came. They ran a little mix of both, but I like how he handled it. I like how he executed. And then at the end of the game, he was just really on fire, and he got it done. I love that Isaiah Ford touchdown. Let me tell you what I loved about that. They actually had it covered so well that nobody was open. And he was patient enough to wait for a defender to say, oh, is he Mike running? Defender came off of him and he was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah,
that patience, I appreciate it. But I'm only looking for the things he doesn't do well so I can see if he's actually improving. People think that he's improving on things he already did well. I keep telling people last year, and let me give y'all a roundabout example. This isn't precise, but just to paint the picture. Last year, we ran an RPO style, like just hypothetically, 50% and a pro style 50%. And Tua had a 64% completion percentage. Nothing to write home for, right? But in that 50% RPO last year, he was deadly. He was like an 80-85% completion guy last year in the RPO style. The problem is we didn't run enough of it for it to show up in his numbers. Now this year, we run a 75% RPO style and a 25% pro style, and the numbers are reflecting. People say it's improvement. That's not improvement. He's just doing what he already did well. We're just doing it more, which is shout out to the coaching staff for putting him in that position. So y'all gotta be patient with me on this. Oh, you're hating because if you say you don't see improvement, y'all just missing the fact that he was deadly in this format last year. Anybody who watched my streams last year, wasn't I yelling at the stream every week? Oh my gosh, either spread it out or run the RPO. Stop this pro style. Stop putting him under center. I was yelling all year last year. I said, stop, it doesn't work. Just put him in the RPO or spread it out. All last year, every Sunday in the game, I was yelling that. But people don't understand that, and I don't know why, man. But I appreciate you coming through. Any last words you got?
Yeah, I cannot wait to see this bum Mac Jones play tonight. That's all I have to say.
Man, you just reminded me. I got to get off of here soon because I'm gonna be streaming that game. Y'all, hey, this is gonna be a good one though. I want to see this one.
Oh yeah.
It's. I hope both teams. I hope whoever wins 2-0 because I can't stand either of them. I want to be able to talk trash about both of them.
So we're rooting for the Bills, right?
Based off of what Finsanity information she gave me today, it sucks. We might actually want the Patriots to sweep them. And if they lose to the Bucks as well, there's a way that we could win a tiebreaker situation. If multiple teams tie, we still get in over them and we don't have to have the tiebreaker apply. You know how if we beat them twice, they beat the Patriots twice, the Patriots beat us twice. You know how all three can be tied, but one of them can leapfrog because you got a three-way tie. Things like that are possible. I don't know, man. It's just a conflicting night. Let's watch the game and talk trash to whoever loses.
Yeah, I got one more thing to say too. I think that it's crazy how if we would have just won the games that I thought we should have, like the Raiders, the Falcons, and the Jags, and we could have been the number 1 seed. I don't even think we would be having this conversation right now. And I think that it would be our franchise guy, and a lot more people would think that. And there would be no question. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but you don't think that'll be off of sheer emotion though? Because of we got another win that he didn't even play in.
I think if the defense is playing like it is now, we could have done it.
And you know what? I agree. But that's the thing, bro. That's what we need to start paying attention to. We're talking about if the defense would have been playing historical football. They are giving up 11 points a game. In the last 5 games, they're averaging 11 points a game giving up. Do y'all realize that's historical? If we were playing like this the whole time, this would be going down as the best defense of all time. This is what we've converted to wishing we had instead of having everybody else just be better and carry more. But they still needed to play better regardless earlier in the season. But that's what we're saying. We wanted the defense to be historical for us to have actually been in a better position.
Yeah, if Brian Flores can't get the fast start to the start of the season, then I think we got to get rid of him because we can't be having this every year.
I have a difference of opinion.
These slow starts. We got to get rid of him.
I feel like they were trying to play a different style of football earlier in the season. Earlier in the season, they weren't running all this amount of RPO sets. They ran it just like they did last year. Even in that Patriots game, they did 50% RPO, 50% pro style. And the only thing that worked in that Patriots game was the RPO format. Everything else they shut down on us. That's why it was such a tight game.
Yeah.
The only thing we got in that Patriots game was the RPO style football. You're all them slants to Parker on a fake handoff. It was y'all got to think about it. That was a tough game. It was back and forth, stops and stops, and it was tough. So we'll see, man. And I'm so sorry to everybody backstage because I actually got to get out of here. My wife's gonna be like, "You said 1 hour and it's 1 hour and 23." But I'm gonna have to actually get out of here soon. But I just want to hear from these 2 individuals real quick. I appreciate you coming through team level. All right.
Yep. See you, TD.
All right, man. But Martin and Finsanity, what's going on? Y'all, I got y'all the last ones I can hear from right now. Talk to me. What's y'all thoughts on what we've been discussing?
I was about to duck off, bro, when you said you was about to take off, man. I was like, oh damn. But all right, cool. What's up, Insanity? How you doing?
I'm just here to clear the record straight. We want the Bills to either sweep or split. That gives us the best chance.
Okay.
I was saying if in the worst case scenario.
I said it backwards to everybody. My bad.
If the Patriots are back by some horror movie scheme and they sweep the Bills, there is a far-fetched scenario where we still make it in if we tie with the Bills at 10-7. But the best way for us to get in is if the Bills can handle business and either split or sweep. That's all. But we prefer a split or sweep. We don't want the Patriots to go out there because then you need everybody in front of us to go 9-8, and that is as improbable as me touching a star. Like, I don't have a chance of just reaching out and touching a star. Then
you could touch a star.
You know, TD, I got that glow. I got that melanin. You know. My dad created a queen. You know. Hi, Dad.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
No, I appreciate you. Excuse me. I appreciate you clearing that up. Because I said it totally backwards. I said we want the Patriots to win, but yeah, Bills, let's go. Let's go Buffalo. Hey, Martin, real quick, what you think about the conversation we had?
I really liked it, man. I actually tend to agree with what you were saying about like passing placement. It was a little off this past game. I thought Tua, and this is something that he just has to work with over time, as far as his growth and development. Tua, over the middle with the crossing patterns, for whatever reason, it always seems like it's maybe a little bit late or behind or whatever.
Those are the ones, man.
But I guarantee you though, because everybody knows Tua is pretty much his harshest critic, right? I think he's just gonna figure it out, figure out that sweet spot as far as in the pocket and the amount of torque in the delivery, the timing of it. I think he's gonna figure that out, and then once he figures that out, things should be a little more crisper in that area. But one of my biggest concerns this past game wasn't necessarily how much we were running the short stuff and the RPO. It was that free play. It was that free play that we got. Where
where
Tua knew
the offsides.
Yes,
he knew it was a free play, but still threw the dump off in the flat.
No. It wasn't the dump off. It was to Waddle. It was to Waddle. I don't know if you remember that.
On the right side, he threw it right
to the left. It was to the left. Like they were heading towards, I think the south end zone.
It was a short throw though, right?
No. It was an offsides, and Tua took a shot down the field to Jalen Waddle, and it looked like a punt. You know what I mean? Like as far as just like when any other quarterback in the league gets a free shot.
There were two of those in the game.
Oh, okay.
There were two of those in the game. There was another one. He threw it to like Gaskins in the flat because I was like, Tua got a free play. We finna see one.
Yeah.
And he hesitated. He said, "Yeah, I could throw this deep." And then he put it in the flat. But then I was thinking, maybe he didn't know. Well, what if it's on us? But
that too.
But he needs to know there's no such thing as a penalty being on us, or it's a dead foul where they're going to stop it anyway. There is no such foul where the play goes on anyway if it's on us.
Right. That's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. Yeah. So, I mean, I think they have to work on that in practice as far as like a situational football kind of repetition, because we rarely get that defensive offside penalty and then we get a free play. We rarely get that because our offense is so quick paced.
And I know,
but I think they need to work on that.
I know which one you're talking about because I was like, well, that was like a punt if it would have got picked, but he just threw it out there. It was like 8 feet in front of even any action, right?
It was more so underthrown. Like the way I see it. Was it
out of bounds on the sideline or something?
It was out of bounds on the sideline.
Okay,
Waddle had to kind of hold up to try to do a jump, a jump ball.
It was still tight coverage, but he could have put it in the field of play to give him a chance to make a play, you mean?
Exactly. I think this is part of what I mean by, Tua still has so much room to grow and get better. That's why I believe, when you say as of today is Tua the franchise guy. Is he the franchise guy today? It is, and the answer is not yet. And again, we have to take this like a game by game. You said every 2 weeks you're gonna ask this question.
Yeah,
and I think that's fair. And again, Tua has shown he's shown a lot of progression. He's shown a lot of growth as far as handling adverse situations. Like there's been a couple games where you got to say to yourself, TD, dang, I didn't know Tua, could overcome that. You know what I mean? Like He's shown glimpses here and there.
I see him here and there. I make sure I point him out.
Right.
You just want to see more of a string at times. You know what I mean?
I got you.
And hopefully it comes. But
I got
I got to call you out real quick, Martin. You know I'm trolling you. But as y'all can see, ladies and gentlemen, over 400 people watching. Martin is a Tua hater because I only talked about his ball placement. Now he bringing up other stuff. This is what you call a Tua hater. So y'all leave me alone, all right?
Oh Lord, bro. Look, can we please can we please critique this the right way? You know what I mean? Like
I know. I'm just messing with you, bro.
And trust me when I say you're when you walk when not you specifically, but when anyone talks about the potential of getting a Deshaun Watson, everybody that roots for Tua and the Miami Dolphins as far as 2021, we're never, you know, debating or disputing the reality that is a clear upgrade. Clearly, I mean, whatever Deshaun Watson is, and he still has room to grow, I believe. I don't think Deshaun Watson's hit his ceiling yet, because I think there's just still a lot of situational football things that Deshaun needs to, you know, grow into. But as far as what Deshaun Watson is, we know Tua won't ever be that type of player as far as just overall playmaking ability. Tua's main niche in this league is going to be in the pocket and just really working the pocket and having just precision timing passes throughout, you know, up and down the field.
Managing the game.
He's going to be managing the game. And trust me, bro. Yeah, managing the game can win you Super Bowls now. Especially
I never dispute that.
Yeah, and especially considering, you know, defenders, right? Everybody can see defenders in the NFL are getting better. They're getting smarter, they're getting faster. You see the defense that we're deploying every week. It's difficult for teams to really, you know, get some type of rhythm going because we figured out some type of formula, right, defensively for the Dolphins. But I'm telling y'all, bro, every time we play like a pocket passer, I mean, the defense kind of gets rattled a little bit. Like they can't really hang, you know, all of a sudden. Because every time we played against Cam, we played against Lamar, we played against just other quarterbacks in general. Like when we run our Ruby, you know, zero blitz defense, it's a wrap. Like we're basically, you know, shutting it down. But again,
I gotta ask you a question in that format real quick. Sorry to get in here on you.
Yes, sir.
But how do you think, from what you've seen early on, I know you're a rookie, but how do you think Mac Jones would handle that though?
Mac Jones, you mean handling
this style of defense from us? It actually has me concerned to where I don't even think they're going to come out and run that type of scheme.
I'll tell you what, week one said it all to me. Week one said it all to me. Mac Jones literally. There were too many times, bro, on third down.
He picked it up.
He was just
some alerts, everything. We sent the different schemes too.
He knew exactly where to go with the football once you brought that exotic stuff at him, and that's more than likely a product of having Josh McDaniels as your OC that's seen everything. He knows where all 11 guys are. He knows where all 11 guys could potentially be. He has outlets prepared for you. You just got to hit him as a quarterback. Mac Jones is smart, man. He's handling his business. But if we're talking about week 18, that's gonna be a game where I'm not sure if we can really deploy that type of defense against that type of quarterback that is just waiting for you to really, you know, not pick, or if he gets like everything picked up, because that offensive line, that blocking scheme always works for him for some magical reason, just like it did for Tom Brady. If they pick up the necessary blitzes that's supposed to get in there to disrupt,
they can hurt us.
That's where Mac Jones usually eats, because he's actually really, in my opinion, Mac Jones is underrated as far as obviously him being a rookie, but also he just puts the ball in spots. You know what I mean, for his receivers to just make.
Ball placement is phenomenal.
Yeah, and I can't hate on him.
Yeah. I'm just talking about like he'll put it bottom left because of that defender's on the right is closer than the one
exactly.
On the, like I know what you're talking about.
Under duress. Yeah. So we have to be very mindful that if we do run those type of defenses, it has to be more so like press coverage. You know, like everybody at the line of scrimmage, including, you know, the free safety, like at where the linebacker should be or something like that. we have to bring that type of defense to really slow down that kid, you know, because he's looking good, bro. I can't
to
lie.
me though, because him, just like Tua, just like game one, we ran a lot of zone at him too, and he carved it up. But it reduces the points in the game because more clock is being ate, because all these completions aren't getting you down fast. It's just, you know, clock eating on the way down the field. And I'm like, maybe we need to go back to that format, and we win the game again if Tua doesn't turn it over, so we don't need the fumble at the end. Because technically we won the game. Then we lost it and took it back, because the Belichick versus Flores and these two teams, to me, if they both play their best, could be very even.
Yes.
And you're going to have a close, similar score. And
I think what you're building up is the tiebreaker is going to be the quarterback play, right?
Because if you think about it, it was last time, but we got bailed out.
I see. I see exactly what you're talking about.
They were primed to have that one possession over us and end the game.
Yeah,
because the clock was on their side. It was almost empty.
Yeah,
and they were right there in the red zone. And it's just like, gosh, you saw the game lost right in front of your eyes.
Yeah,
and that turnover. So it's going to come down to the quarterbacks to me.
I agree, and I'll tell you what, the trajectory and the trend of what Tua has done for the last 3 weeks, more specifically 3 weeks, because he started the last 3 weeks solid, and him coming in obviously against the Ravens with a questionable finger and still finding a way to get it done. He's trending upward as far as
that other guy.
Oh yeah. And we'll see tonight, bro. We'll see tonight. We about to get off right now, so you know you can go ahead and jump in on that, bro.
Y'all get me
my bad, bro. My bad. But but I'm just saying, man. I think Tua is trending in the right direction as far as team growth, and in all honesty, bro, I still believe that Tua, even if Deshaun Watson were to become available, I'm a huge believer that Tua and the way the team has responded to Tua and the whole situation, I honestly believe, you know, and people can say what they want, that, well, you're a professional, get over it. Tua's still a kid, bro, in my opinion. He's still a kid when it comes to handling adverse situations, but he handles it as best as he can. He overcomes a lot. And this cloud of Deshaun Watson potentially being a Miami Dolphin, I think played a little bit of a mind game with him prior to that trade deadline, which is why there was such an up and down, I believe, of like team chemistry. But as soon as that deadline cut off, bro, you saw it, bro. Like everybody seemed a little bit more locked in because, you know, hey, why not, man? It's either we win or it's over. And I think Tua has handled this, you know, team chemistry and growth better than I would have anticipated a kid to handle it. And if I'm the Dolphins, I would give him another opportunity to prove that he can handle this when everything around him has been like addressed, you know, offensive line, running back.
So
you know,
dang, you making me ask more questions, man. We're gonna have to do another panel and have it out. But now I gotta ask.
Yes,
so
sir.
What happens if you do give them everything and you give them that one more year and it doesn't work out, and now your best options that you could have ever dreamed for is gone?
Then you just look for another quarterback, bro. It's really that simple. And
square one.
Back to square one. And
instead of just going with the guarantee.
But the guarantee still has a caveat though, TD. You know this. You know
what
this. You see it.
What caveat?
I'm talking about the potential of this guy. Everything
no.
kind of clear.
I am only
you know
talking,
what I mean? But
I am only talking in terms of if his situation is cleared.
Yeah, okay, that's perfectly fine.
Do you still take that risk?
If Deshaun Watson's situation is clear and we had the chance to trade for him,
even if Tua ends out on fire, but we still need to see certain things from him.
Yeah. Hey, bro, they gonna jump on me for this. I will not trade for Deshaun Watson. This is why. This is why. This is why. And I'm big on what how do you create consistency in the NFL, right? How do you create a consistent franchise organization year in and year out? You know they're
foremost.
Having a franchise quarterback is nice, but having a franchise is better, because if you look at the Patriots, bro, they're right in our division. 1 year without Tom Brady. As soon as Tom Brady took off,
already know they got a franchise quarterback.
No. But Pete this real quick, TD. Tom Brady left. That 1 year he left, the Patriots were struggling. They were struggling. I like. I got you, bro.
Calling me. I gotta go.
I got you.
Hold on,
man.
Hold on. Hello,
Martin.
Yes, ma'am.
You play what position in football did you play?
I just realized the time.
I play quarterback.
An hour and 40 minutes. I'm coming back. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking low, like we.
Nah, y'all. I gotta get out of here.
You play quarterback?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
For the worst team of all time.
Hey! You be quiet over there.
Nah, Martin, my homie, man. His school is my school, so we rivals, man.
Yeah. I salute it regardless, bro. You know,
every
that's a
chance
real
I
rivalry.
get on the live stream, I'm gonna remind him we beat his team. How many years in a row?
I have no clue, but I never lost y'all. So I mean, it is what it is.
8 years in a row, y'all finally got number 9.
It is what it is, but I never lost when I was there, bro. That's just the truth. That's facts. That's facts.
The wife gave me a death stare. I'll see y'all later. I appreciate y'all.
I agree, bro. Hey, appreciate you for having me on, man.
All right, thanks. We gonna link up. I'll see y'all soon, man.
All right. Peace.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to TD FINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I gotta go because I was actually supposed to leave the house and actually run an errand. And now I hope I don't be late for the game. So let me hurry up and run to the store for the wife and get the stuff I need so I can hurry up and be back for the Bills-Patriots game, them bums. I'll see y'all soon. Come hang out with me for the Bills-Patriots game. Great stream. We're going to keep having these type of streams. I might run a part 2 tomorrow or Wednesday just because there was so many people backstage that wanted to add their 2 cents. So see y'all soon. Appreciate y'all. One last time for my Patriots.
You had amazing chemistry with your receivers. Mike Gesicki, Devontae Parker coming back from injury. Is this the best connection you've had with them all season?
You know, I think there's a lot that we can learn from today. You know, ball placement for me, some catches. But I think overall it's a continuation of us learning.